What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Player Profile. We got another one of these Spartan seniors joining me today, Ivan Rudiak, excuse me, joining me today. I knew I'd do it. I told you I'd do it. Ivan Rudiak joining me today. Talk to me about the senior year, man. You're going into it. A lot of anticipation, gearing up for the opening day. How is that for you going into this season?
Yeah, we're all excited to be here. This team has a different vibe around it. I think this year we're all more, I would say, positive in this approach to the season, and we're going in with our heads high, looking to win the conference too. So we're looking good.
Ivan, talk to me about just you being a senior too, and what that kind of is like for you taking that step, being a leader, of a voice in the dugout too, and one of those guys that the team can kind of look up to for maturity and guidance.
Yeah, being a senior, you kind of take that role automatically, and it's good to have multiple voices in the dugout. It's good to be one as a team and all be on the same mindset, pretty much. So that's what I look forward to doing this whole season. And yeah,
Ivan, talk to me about the first chapter of your baseball career. When did the whole thing start? What are some of your earliest memories in the sport?
I would have to say I started in t-ball when I was like 4 years old. You know,
So
just
another young one.
yeah, just get my dad got me into the game really young. Just getting love for it. And favorite memory from I guess that time would just be like all the dumb things you would see from t-ball, like running third base instead of first base. All that stuff.
When the game is just being learned and everything's just fun and basic skills too. There's still
Yeah.
something so special about that too. I agree. In terms of just your experience with sports in general, because I know you participate in multiple sports too, how much of a role and an impact has sports served in your life?
It's given me the trait to just work hard at everything. It gives you a multitude of things to do. You're always working and always working. So I think that's a positive approach to it. It gives you a good mindset for later down in life as well.
I feel like the sport of baseball is perfect because it can humble you no matter how good you think you are at the sport. It will humble you throughout it. Talk to me about just how that has a benefit to you and how the sport of baseball humbling you has kind of helped you throughout your young life so far.
Obviously, it humbles you a lot. You get to learn from it though. Every mistake you make, you learn from it. You know, whether it's a strikeout, you see what you did. You have your coaches telling you hey, you did this, and you take that, and then you apply it to the next at bat. You make an error in the field. You learn from what you did. Try to not do that again, and then be better from then on out.
Like life, baseball will have its ups, it'll have its downs, you'll have your slumps, you'll have your streaks. When you are going through a slump, inevitably, what is kind of your mindset? How do you kind of overcome?
It's hard not to be negative when you go through a slump, but in the past, I've had multiple dugouts where we're all positive for each other. You always have someone to pick you up when you're down, and I think that's the best for when you're in a slump. It still gives you more confidence to go into another at bat. And that's what I believe is the best approach during slumps.
In your experience with baseball, has the game or the people that you've played with taught you more?
That's hard. That's hard to answer. I would say the people that I've played with, the coaches that I've been coached by, have gotten me more through uh, life in general than the sport of baseball. The sport of baseball is just how should I say? It's second to the people you play with and the coaches you're under.
In terms of the people you played with and the coaches you've been under too, what's some of the best advice you've received, and what's some things coaches have kind of told you that have had an impact on you and stuck with you?
I would have to say anything that Coach Lendeck has told me or Coach Todd Donatelli from Avalanche has told me.
What, in terms of them too, what do you think makes a good coach? What do you, for you, what makes a good coach? What makes them be able to click with you?
Definitely their mindset to the game. Coach Lendeck is very smart to the game. He knows his players very well. It's the same thing with Coach Donatelli. He's gritty. He knows how to coach players. You know, and that's what I believe makes a really good coach.
From freshman year to now, what do you think the biggest thing you've grown in on the diamond is?
Definitely as a person. Definitely as a person. It's changed how I've looked on life a lot. Way more positive approach during these last 4 years.
When you talk about ways you've also developed yourself as a person over the last 4 years, when you look back at yourself freshman year to now, what do you think one thing you've grown in personally has been in?
Personally, oh, it's a hard question. Um, Definitely more leadership, I would say. Kind of growing throughout like the 4 years, like being able to have a voice on any team I was on.
Was there kind of leaders you looked to that inspired you, that served as maybe role models for you?
Yeah, my freshman year, watching Griffin Woodrick play, I mean, he was an absolute dog. He was a great shortstop. And then playing with Caleb Satterfield my sophomore year, like that's my big brother right there. He's definitely been there for me, and he's someone I look up to.
Yeah, Griffin can also deal it on the mound as well. In terms of you and what you've been able to do and what you've experienced with the sport of baseball, how does it feel now that you're about to be starting final sports season in your senior year?
It doesn't feel real that it's going to be the last season we play on high school, and being with all the guys, like it just doesn't feel right in a sense.
So when you talk about kind of future plans for you, whoa, we don't want me in there. When we talk about future plans for you, and when you throw the cap in the air, and we're talking about graduation, what's kind of the plans? Do you have anything that you're planning to do after high school?
After high school, I'll be playing college baseball for Teal and going into the nursing program. So that's basically all I've been looking forward to. And obviously, this summer playing summer baseball with Avalanche at Scene. Just keeping it to baseball basically.
When you talk about that kind of whole process for you, and I wanted to give you that ESPN moment. When you talk about that process of going to Teal and choosing Teal, what was that like for you? The college recruiting process. What made it feel like home to go and kind of stamp your name there for the next few years?
Honestly, it was. I went on multiple visits, and it was the guys that took me in like family when they didn't even know who I was. It was just that's what made it feel like home. They take you in like family automatically, and that's what really did the trick.
I've been doing all kinds of rapid fire questions with the baseball softball players. So you ready for your round?
I'm ready.
Always started off with what's the walk up song?
Walk up song. I gotta keep it to the team wanted me to do from Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. He's a pirate to start off the season, and then I think I'll change it to "Sleeping on the Blacktop" by Coulter Wall.
Okay, so we're going Pirates of the Caribbean first half of the season. I never heard someone do. You're gonna divide it up. I like it though. You're gonna go first half, second half. That's different.
Yeah,
When most memorable game that you've been able to play in?
definitely 12U divisional championship when Mason Rocky hit a grand slam.
That one sticks out for everybody, man. That's a core memory for everyone. I love it. For a post game meal after a big win, where are you going?
Chipotle.
Same thing. What's your order at Chipotle?
I've been recently. It's been the new hot honey chicken that they've got, but usually it's just a steak, rice, and cheese. I'm a picky eater, so I gotta keep it to that.
I was gonna say, do you stay loyal to like one thing, or do you jump around a little bit, try different things?
Gotta stay loyal.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. When you talk about your uniform number and your choice, why'd you pick it?
You know, I switched my number from 5 to 13 when I was in 8th grade, and it was because of Ronald Acuna. I would say, he had biggest swagger on the field. I was like, I want to be like him.
Would you say that's the player that served as like a major league role player?
He definitely does. You definitely have Jose Ramirez. I'm a Guardians fan, so you
Yes.
gotta look up to him. And I've also been loving how Bryson Stott plays.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. In terms of a dream ballpark that you could play in, what would that be?
Truist Park.
All right, that's a new one. First time I've heard that one. That's a good one though. When you talk about teams or players that you've been able to play against, toughest pitcher you've been able to play against.
Toughest pitcher. We'll go AAC first. Mason Patrice, obviously from Fitch. And then this summer we played someone on Astros. He was a Delaware State commit. He was a 6'5" lefty throwing 95. Pretty. It was pretty hard, I would say.
What's your favorite piece of baseball equipment you own?
Favorite piece. I would have to say my glove.
What's the glove choice?
Glove choice right now is the SSK. It's beige with maroon lining around it.
On the team, who is the funniest on the team?
Funniest Mason Rocky.
Who is the best hitter on the team
Best
in
hitter, I
terms
would
of
say
home run?
home run, Landon Whippo.
Okay, contact hitter.
Ray Sniker.
In terms of who is the loudest on the in the dugout, who's got that crowd?
Definitely Tyler Curley.
Fastest on the team.
LJ Norvell.
Best trash talker on the team.
None of us really trash talk, but I would say myself.
Okay, you're gonna take the crowd. I like it. I like it. In terms of what was the other one I've been asking to? Oh, swagger. Yeah, who's got the best swagger on the team?
Swagger's gotta be me or Caden.
You're gonna take that one too, Caden. I heard Caden as well too. I like that you guys are taking the crowds too. Favorite ballpark snack or dugout snack?
Ooh. Probably a corn dog. I'm not gonna lie, corn dog.
You're going corn dog. Anything on it too, or you just going plain
Nah,
Jane?
just a plain corn dog.
All right, all right. In terms of like superstitions or rituals that you have before games, are there any of those that you have?
Before games, I would definitely say gotta go to the Shell on Western Reserve and get a Rain Sour Gummy Worm energy drink.
Does it have to be specifically that like every
Oh,
time?
all the time.
Does it have to be the same place that you buy it from too, or can the place alter?
Definitely
Okay.
Shell on Western Reserve.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Boardman community too. How much do they mean to you guys when they show up and rep you guys and support?
Oh, it means a lot to us. Seeing the support out there, I think it gives us even more of a confidence boost. Just trying to play better for them. So,
When you look at day and night games, you've been able to play them both. Which one do you prefer and why?
night games.
That one's always, I feel like, an easy one too. That gives
Yeah,
you
I
that
think
the
the
lights
atmosphere is
on.
better.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. When you look at motivational quotes, are you a quote person? Do you have kind of a quote that's had an impact on you?
Um, Definitely anything from the Bible, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, that's I mean that's a great one too. Great way to, and there's tons of great ones throughout. In terms of like guys that are on the team that you would want to take a skill from, if you could steal one of those skills, who's a player on the team you'd steal a skill from?
Definitely land with those power.
You want the pop. You want a little bit more
Yeah,
pop than that. I like it. I like it. Before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to have the spotlight. Shout out people that have had an impact on you too, and shout out the people you couldn't have been on this journey without.
definitely my family, my friends, my coaching staff, all throughout the years have all supported me in any way. So I'll give all my support out to them.
Well, Ivan, we support you as well, as we're excited for your senior year and what you and all the Spartans are going to be able to do out there on the diamond. Good luck this season, and we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Got it. Thank you for having me.